God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. Dear Divine Ones, welcome back to Miracle Mantras. I'm Kiran Jotkar. I'll be reading today's lesson for you, singing this mantra I've created with you again, and adding a commentary at the end. This is lesson number 44. God is the light in which I see. Today we are continuing the idea for yesterday, adding another dimension to it. You cannot see in darkness, and you cannot make light. You can make darkness and then think you see in it, but light reflects life and is therefore an aspect of creation. Creation and darkness cannot coexist, but light and life must go together, being but different aspects of creation. In order to see, you must recognize that light is within, not without. You do not see outside yourself, nor is the equipment for seeing outside you. An essential part of this equipment is the light that makes seeing possible. It is with you always, making vision possible in every circumstance. Today we are going to attempt to reach that light. For this purpose, we will use a form of exercise which has been suggested before and which we will utilize increasingly. It is a particularly difficult form for the undisciplined mind and represents a major goal of mind training. It requires precisely what the untrained mind lacks, yet this training must be accomplished if you are to see. Have at least 3 practice periods today, each lasting 3 to 5 minutes. A longer time is highly recommended, but only if you find the time slipping by with little or no sense of strain. The form of practice we will use today is the most natural and easy one in the world for the trained mind, just as it seems to be the most unnatural and difficult for the untrained mind. Your mind is no longer wholly untrained. You are quite ready to learn the form of exercises we will use today, but you may find that you will encounter strong resistance. The reason is very simple. While you practice in this way, you leave behind everything you now believe and all the thoughts you have made up. Properly speaking, this is the release from hell. Yet, perceived through the ego's eyes, it is a loss of identity and a descent into hell. If you can stand aside from the ego by ever so little, you will have no difficulty in recognizing that its opposition and its fears are meaningless. You might find it helpful to remind yourself from time to time that to reach the light is to escape from darkness, whatever you may believe to the contrary. God is the light in which you see. You are attempting to reach God. Begin the practice period by repeating today's idea with your eyes open, and close them slowly, repeating the idea several times more. Then try to sink into your mind, letting go every kind of interference and intrusion by quietly sinking past them. Your mind cannot be stopped in this unless you choose to stop it. It is merely taking its natural course. Try to observe your passing thoughts without involvement and slip quietly by them. While no particular approach is advocated for this form of exercise, what is needed is a sense of the importance of what you are doing, its inestimable value to you, and an awareness that you are attempting something very holy. Salvation is your happiest accomplishment. It is also the only one that has any meaning because it is the only one that has any real use to you at all. If resistance rises in any form, pause long enough to repeat today's idea, keeping your eyes closed unless you are aware of fear. In that case, you will probably find it more reassuring to open your eyes briefly. Try, however, to return to the exercises with your eyes closed as soon as possible. If you are doing the exercises correctly, you should experience some sense of relaxation and even a feeling that you are approaching, if not actually entering, into light. Try to think of light, formless and without limit, as you pass by the thoughts of this world. And do not forget that they cannot hold you to the world unless you give them the power to do so. Throughout the day, repeat the idea often, with eyes open or closed, as seems better to you at the time. But do not forget, above all, be determined not to forget today. God is the light in which I see. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be released. God is the light in which I see, the is the light in which I see, the light I reach to be we can all be released. We can all see through to the light. We can recognize that everything we see is our interpretation of reality. And if that reality is pain and suffering and separation, then we can see through it. We can give it up. We can give up all this guilt. We can give up all this shame. We can give up all this self-created unworthiness and pain. This world is so full of grief and pain. And it's all linked to our unworthiness and our belief that we are unloved, that we are abandoned by God and by everything else, and that we're somehow just sort of hanging on to a small piece of wood in this ocean of terror. We're just clinging and we believe we're all alone. But it's like that, one of those jokes that says you're hanging on the edge of the cliff and you're praying to God, and God says, just let go. But that's the last thing that the ego wants to do. Even though what the ego clings to is judgment, hatred, and pain. It's something we know, it's something we've come to value, it's something we've put our beliefs in. And so it feels very hard to let it go. It feels like dying. And it is the death of the ego. It's the death of the separated self. So in order to become free, we have to give up the separated self. And when I think of this, and I think of all the suffering that I've created for myself, and how nothing it is, it gives me pain. It gives me pain in knowing that I wasted so much time creating suffering and reveling in it. And that all the time that I was there, I had a different choice to reach through, to know that I was loved, to know that I was holy, and to know that nothing I do here will be held against me, and that nothing I do here is a punishment, that all that we do in this plane is learn, and there's no punishment, there's only understanding of the natural consequences of our actions. And I just wanted to mention that in this world and in our culture, we have used the separation of light and darkness to create even more separation on this planet, and to separate people, and to judge some people as less worthy than others. But let us not forget that light and dark has nothing to do with form than what we perceive with the body's eyes. And all it has to do with is unconsciousness and consciousness. And that decision does not belong to any one type of person, does not belong to some versus others. It belongs either to all of us or none of us, because there is no separation and there is no other. And really, there is no good and there is no bad. So there is no evil. What if we took that in? That what we've perceived as evil and sinful is just the workings of the mistaken identity of the ego. May we release all our pain and suffering today, and may all beings be happy and free. Thank you for being with me. I look forward to being with you again tomorrow.